Now, from the Action 4 studios, sports director Clay Williams and Joel Bowling bring you the best in Valley High School football from the week past and for the week ahead. Highlights, analysis, and predictions from all across the Valley. It's time for Sunday Sports Extra.
It is time, and it's playoff time in the Rio Grande Valley. We are done with week one of the playoffs, on to the area round. And joining me this week, as always, it's Action 4 sports reporter Joe Bowling, and from the Brownsville Herald, Mario Aguirre. And we're going to talk with Mario about a couple of big upsets that happened over the weekend, including one of the biggest when you talk about who expected to win between Los Fresnos and Weslaco. Well, everybody thought that it would be Weslaco, especially since they were at home. But going into overtime, tied at 21, Javi Cruz, who had one of the games of the year for any football player in the Valley, scores it, and that's a 28-21 Los Fresnos lead. Back comes Robbie Lopez, but Nick Alegria all over him. So is the entire Los Fresnos defense. Strips the ball, recovers it for the game-ending play, and Los Fresnos defeats Weslaco at Bobby Lackey Stadium 28-21 in overtime.
I mean, it's a real big victory for us. We knew coming into this game was going to be a fight, you know. I mean, Weslaco has always had a great team. We just want to come out here and execute. And we just, I'm really proud of my team right now.
So check it out. Here we go. Next up for Los Fresnos will be Laredo United. 9-2 after their win over Donna. That game will be in Corpus Christi Friday night at Cabanas Field. On the other side of the bracket, the winner of that game will play either San Antonio Warren and Converse Judson. That game on Friday at Judson's Rutledge Stadium. But let's talk a little bit about it, and let's start with you, Mario. Los Fresnos, third best team in the district, but man, they look like one of the top teams in the Valley when they took on Weslaco.
Yeah, and I mean, they still remember last year. They were out in the first round, and this team kind of seemed like a rebuilding project a little bit because they lost a lot of players from last season, only returned 4 starters. Yeah. And Javier Cruz was a tight end last season, and this is his first year as a quarterback. So he remembers the loss last year as a tight end, and now I spoke to him yesterday, and he said this feels good to be able to get over the hump and get past the first round.
Yeah, this Los Fresnos team's offense, it was clicking on all cylinders, and the defense even more.
Yeah, tight end, quarterback, doesn't matter. Javi Cruz was a leader in that football game. He carried his team, and Brandon Colon made plays that make you realize why Division I schools are looking at him. Nobody makes catches he was making in that ball game. They looked real good. It was real.
Yeah, but next up, that Laredo United team of which we spoke about, and man, they look even more unbelievable. They had Derek Esparza for Laredo United, the Longhorns quarterback, threw for 450 yards in the first half. Yes, the first half against Donna. So this is a United team that is explosive, and Los Fresnos definitely going to have their hands full, Joe.
Yeah, especially when you take a look at the teams that threw the ball against Los Fresnos and had success. Harlingen South and Harlingen. They both had success against them, and this team's got more weapons than either of those, which is scary to say.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Los Fresnos taking on United?
This will be their biggest challenge of the year so far, and this is a young group. I'm not sure how they'll respond, but it'll be interesting to see.
Meanwhile, the other 32-5A team that had a big upset over the weekend, how about Brownsville Rivera? They had to win their last 2 games to even make the playoffs, while Mackay was coming off their first outright district title since 1979. And then it was all about the guys who were getting it done, you know, Montez, Rubio, Evans, this Rivera offense looking so good, and the defense looking even better. And it's a 33-21 win for Rivera. So you look at that area round, and it's Rivera taking on Laredo Alexander, who barely beat Economides last night. That game will be at La Jolla. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, it's San Antonio Brandeis and San Antonio Johnson. That game at Heroes Stadium. But Mario, your thoughts on Rivera? And this team has looked so good the past 3 weeks, and they've had to, but they've done it.
I don't think anyone expected this, especially after an 0-4 start. They've won must-win games now. They beat they had
Hannah. They had to beat Hannah. They had to beat Lopez.
Yeah.
And they've gotten in.
And I asked